It wouldn't have been common at all for women to work in the steelworks itself. That's not to say that there wasn't lots of women doing industrial work in the Black Country. If you could go through Cradley Heath or somewhere, you'd find hundreds and hundreds of women making chains and things like that, or nails. But in a big steelworks, no women at all. The first woman we think that was employed at Round Oak was only in 1915, and then only in the offices. So women were employed from that time on. It's quite revolutionary for a big works like this, but certainly not making steel or anything like that. But that was the case across the whole country. That was just the way that society was set up, and the Round Oak was sadly just the same part of that. Round Oak was obviously just the place where the steel was made in the first place, and they produced bars or sections or whatever it might have been. It was part of a regional economy of making stuff out of metal. Black Country had been famous for many years for the different things made in different towns. So, for instance, in Willenhall they make locks, in West Bromwich they make springs, but in Cradley Heath they specialised in chains of all different kinds. So there'd be big chain works where men would make large chain. They made chains for the Titanic anchor, just up the road in Netherton, for instance, and women would be employed in making small chains that could be used for any sort of industrial or shipping or whatever it might have been. It was very common to pay women much lower than the men, half if they were lucky, but they would also be expected to work full days and have their husband's dinner on the table at the end of the day. They'd have their babies often strapped around them while they were working, and they were working very, very long hours for very small pay. And finally they said, that's not okay. So in 1910, the Federation of Women Workers got involved under a lady called Mary MacArthur, and she helped them lead a strike, and they said, we're not going to do any more work for you until we are guaranteed a fair rate of pay. So they went on strike, and it was hugely popular, not just in the region, but nationally. They won their fair pay. It was the first minimum wage in any industry in this country. And in fact, the strike fund was so successful that they had enough money left to build the Workers' Institute in Cradley Heath, and they used that for all sorts of union and social activities as well.